To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Without music, life would be a mistake. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. It is impossible to suffer without making someone pay for it. Every complaint already contains revenge. The essence of all beautiful art, all great art, is gratitude. There is always some madness in love. But there is also always some reason in madness. There are no facts, only interpretations. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier and simpler. When you look into an abyss, the abyss also looks into you. Whatever is done for love always occurs beyond good and evil. Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders. We love life, not because we are used to living but because we are used to loving. Faith, not wanting to know what is true. Insanity in individuals is something rare, but in groups, parties, nations and epochs, it is the rule. There are no eternal facts, as there are no absolute truths. The future influences the present just as much as the past. A casual stroll through the lunatic asylum shows that faith does not prove anything. When one has not had a good father, one must create one. Whenever I climb I am followed by a dog called ego. The world itself is the will to power, and nothing else. And you yourself are the will to power, and nothing else. All truly great thoughts are conceived by walking. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Hope in reality is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of man. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to stand and walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. In every real man a child is hidden that wants to play. Ah, women! They make the highs higher and the lows more frequent. The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason he wants woman, as the most dangerous plaything. You have your way. I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. One should die proudly when it is no longer possible to live proudly. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies but also to hate his friends. Madness is rare in individuals, but in groups, parties, nations, and ages it is the rule. Many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they have chosen, few in pursuit of the goal. The best weapon against an enemy is another enemy. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. The most common lie is that which one lies to himself. Lying to others is relatively an exception. Convictions are more dangerous foes of truth than lies. Love is blind, friendship closes its eyes. Evil men have no songs. How is it that the Russians have songs? A woman may very well form a friendship with a man, but for this to endure, it must be assisted by a little physical antipathy. The irrationality of a thing is no argument against its existence, rather a condition of it. In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations and epochs, it is the rule. Those who cannot understand how to put their thoughts on ice should not enter into the heat of debate. We have art in order not to die of the truth. Our treasure lies in the beehive of our knowledge. We are perpetually on the way thither, being by nature winged insects and honey-gatherers of the mind. There cannot be a God, because if there were one, I could not believe that I was not He. In heaven, all the interesting people are missing. There is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy.